What's up, guys? Hello, my name is Kamisha Whitaker-Moore, and welcome to Let's Talk Podcast. Today, I have a set of special guests. One, my daughter, and also my son. I will let them introduce themselves.
What up? I go first. My name's Cam. Nice to be here.
My name's Caitlin, and it's good to be here.
So today, we're going to be talking about single life or being a single parent raising children. I know most of you guys don't know I was a single parent with three children. I'm raising them by myself with the support of my family and the support of their father's family. And so things have changed, times has changed. And so we're just going to talk about what that looked like and the end product of what we are today and what that looks like for my daughter being a single mom raising her children. So let's get into it. So, being raised by me, being a single parent majority of the time, all the time actually. Um, you, Kaylin, being the oldest, Cam, you being the baby, and then we're missing Chris, of course. He's the middle kid. So looking back then and now to this day, what are you thinking? What did we miss? What did I mess up on, or what can you say about that? Y'all have any thoughts or anything going on?
Me? No, not necessarily. I mean, I learned a lot because, like, you being a single mom, as you said, it's like obviously it's not easy, but it can be done. It's not impossible to raise kids on your own. And
Mhm.
obviously you had a support system, but at the same time, three kids is all about somewhat close to age, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing how you did it. So applaud you for that.
Well, thank you. We struggle, okay? We definitely struggle. Kaylin, what about you? Being a mom now of two boys, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, what we went through as far as like me being a single mom and then raising you guys all together, we saw our fair share of struggles. Um, I don't, I can never say that we were ever hungry. I can never say that we went to bed hungry, but I can say there was a lot of things that we wanted and a lot of things that we wished for. I took care, or I felt like I took care of all of our needs, but our wants, it was kind of lacking at times, but our Christmas wasn't in December. Our Christmas was always in January, February, when it came down to income tax times. So what do you think? How do you feel about as far as like you how you were raised by me solely, pretty much,
hmm
and then how you're raising your boys today?
One, thank God for the struggle, and I say that because I don't. If it wasn't for the struggle, then I don't think that I would be the best mom that I strive to be. Just seeing you raise us, I know it can be done. Like Cam said, I'm doing it. I feel like I'm doing an okay job at the moment right now, just because uh, I'm trying, but I know in life, I know that I need to be higher or
Hmm.
I need to be further
Hmm.
than what I am. So I do applaud myself, but it is a struggle.
Yeah, it's
So, but
definitely
I
a
know that it
struggle.
can be done.
So to me, when you say I'm trying or I know that I'm okay, what does that mean? Because to me, what I see is an
hmm
amazing mother, a daughter, a great daughter, amazing mother to two boys, basically raising them by yourself. So what does that mean?
Um, I think that I just want to go back to school.
Yeah.
I just need to finish. I start, then I stop, but I need to finish. And I think if I finish, it will give me like I did it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give me I can be the best mom. You know what
Gotcha.
I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I say I'm an okay mom right now, just because I'm. I don't know how to explain it, but I just want to be able to finish.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah. So you have goals, and then
Right.
your goals, you feel like you're not completing those goals, and so kind of start
Right.
and stop and all that good
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, that's nothing to beat yourself up about. That's just what life is. Because honestly, me personally, I know that I had goals and things that I wanted to do, but because of my decisions, those things didn't happen. And to be perfectly honest with you, at this moment in my life, I am 47 years old. I don't think that I would trade anything for the struggle or the things that we went through because I
Yeah.
feel as if all of those moments made me who I am and
Right.
made us who we are. I feel like we're so tight knit, but yet and still, we still get on each other's nerves if we just being honest about
Yeah.
it. There's still times I'm like, oh, y'all make me sick. And so we get those things, but yet and still, I still feel like I am super blessed because I have three amazing kids. I have grandchildren that I'm super happy with, proud of, and I love very dearly. So to me,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're all doing a good job. We
Right.
all had our ups and downs and different things like that, but I feel like we did a good job. I remember um, you, honestly, having you. I remember the day that I went into labor having you. It was crazy. It was so crazy. Because I remember the very day, and I remember how I felt like I was so inexperienced.
Mm-hmm.
And I was honest, I was 19, almost 20 years old when I gave birth to you. And I was inexperienced. I was young, I was green, I didn't know anything. I was super sheltered
Right.
because growing up Kojic, we didn't know. We were just super sheltered. And I let the devil trick me, okay? So so even with that, I remember having you. I remember having you. And then I remember us, you going into the hospital. And then after that, it was just like, hey, this is me. This
Yeah.
is what we got going on. It was just like something switched in my mind. And
Yeah.
it went from you're no longer 19 and you could do whatever you want. You're 19 with a baby
Yeah.
and you have to grow up. And so I remember bringing you home, and I remember those thoughts in my mind like, I have got to grow up. And this is exactly what I have to do for my child because I'm not by myself anymore. I
Right.
can't be selfish. And every time, we went to the store or I went to the store to go shop for myself, I ended up coming out with nothing for me, but
For your
everything for
kids.
you.
Yeah.
And that's just who I was. And and honestly, that's the lifestyle that I wanted to live because I wanted to be a good mom. I wanted to be a great mother. I remember your brother Chris having him, and I remember having Cam. I remember all these things. And I remember sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need a break. But then when you guys were gone for like less than 24 hours, I'm like, bring me my kids.
Yeah.
Give me my babies. I need them. So I feel like we all grew up together. I remember us sitting in an apartment in New Boston, and we were sitting there, and I remember Cam would cry, which made Chris cry, which made you cry, and we were all, and I started crying because I would be exhausted from working and trying to go to school, and we would just sit on the floor, crisscross applesauce, and we would fall asleep, just crying. You were not hungry. You didn't need to be changed. Everybody was just going through some struggle. And we would find ourselves on the floor asleep. I remember those days, but I cherish those moments because in that moment, I'm like, I'm the worst person in the world. I'm taking my babies through some things that they don't even have to be or have to go through, but yet and still, looking back on it, it makes me smile,
Yeah.
and it also makes me a little sad because I'm like, I did the very best that I could for my kids, but yet and still, I brought my kids in a situation that honestly that I could have avoided if I only listened. But we are here today.
That's how I feel.
We are here today, and I'm 47, and you are,
27.
and you are,
23.
and then Chris is 25 or 26. And so we're grown, we grew up together, and we have all of these wonderful memories to
Yeah.
kind of look back on. We laugh about it, and we get tickled because every time I leave my family, or even at work, I use this little phrase from Cam: "Peace out, A-Town down." Cam, you
Oh,
want to
geez.
tell us
No,
about
I do
it?
not. We can keep that in the lockbox. Toss that one over
Oh my
there.
gosh. I'm seriously, I go around work. I'm like, peace out, A-Town down. Doo. So Cam comes to my mind every single time. What are some of y'all favorite moments about us, like growing up? Do y'all remember like anything that was
Yeah.
like we deemed as a good time, but epic fail, but yet and still we had a good time with it?
I think when we were in Lake Ridge and Cameron, it was in his whitey tighty.
Why me? Why Why me?
I do remember that. We had a good time. We definitely had a
Yeah.
good time.
Fine.
But all seriously, we're gonna stop picking on Cam. We're gonna stop picking on my baby girl.
Nah, I was goofy.
You were.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Caitlin, with us being who we are or who we
Mhm.
were, how do you see yourself with your boys?
I feel like I let my kids get away with a lot.
Y'all got to
My
work a
kids are
lot.
spoiled,
Y'all were spoiled too.
so
Don't do that. You were
I mean,
spoiled
I
too.
don't know. I mean, they're growing up the same way we did, spoiled,
Yeah.
and they get it. They get what they want. So
Is that a good thing though? Because honestly, I feel like with that being said, I created 3 beasts.
yeah. So with that, I personally think that it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing
Mm-hmm.
because just me being 27 and still being spoiled,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a good thing.
No, I don't think so either. Cam, do you think you're spoiled?
Not really, kind of, but not necessarily. Not too crazy.
Oh, okay.
Not too crazy.
Really, for real? Okay.
I mean, that's why I said I think it's a good thing and I think it's a bad thing. I mean, being spoiled, I feel like being spoiled can be a good thing. Being spoiled can be a bad thing. It's just kind of how you look at it, I
Yeah.
think. Because I'm spoiled, but I still do for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I get up, I go get it. I go to work every day. So if they can't buy it, I will.
I totally understand that. So I'm not going to say being the norm, but honestly, you 3 are definitely statistics, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You are, because you were brought up by a single parent, no dad in the home, whatever the case may be. And we're not
Mhm.
going to speak ill of anything or anyone. How do you feel like that affected you emotionally?
I used to say that I feel like I had abandonment issues. I thought that I got rid of my abandonment issues, but just in previous relationships, I feel like I have not I have not got rid of those abandonment issues. Um, my feelings, I always wear my feelings on my sleeve. Like I think any little thing, not any little thing, but when someone hurts my feelings, I'll let that be known. Now, it might not be serious to them, but it's very serious to me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I just think that I do sometimes have abandonment issues
That's fair.
from that.
That's fair.
Sometimes.
What about you, Cam?
Being the youngest, it was really just really just looking up to Chris and Kaylin for real. Like they really taught me a lot. I mean, me personally, I seen you do everything, so I was never like ever sad about anything that was going on. Sometimes I was, but like I really like as I grew up, I quickly got an understanding of like what it is and what it's not.
Yeah.
So like that's really just how it all played out for me.
Yeah, because I had to learn. Like, it took me a long time to learn. A long time. But I think that once it finally clicked, then it was just a wrap. It was
done and
it
over
was
with.
done and over with.
Yeah,
I
but
totally understand that. I think that, and Chris isn't here, but I feel like you guys would all agree. Chris was the one who had the majority of the issues. He had real issues. He had issues with, he had real bad daddy issues for sure. And he was the last one. He's the middle kid, but yet and still he was the last one that really got it.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did get it, it hurt him deeply.
Yeah.
And so I still think that he kind of suffers from different things like that as well. But as Chris was young and now that he is older, I think that he's getting over that. And which is crazy because he's just now trying to get over that hump.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll get over it and then he'll bring it right back. And then he'll get over it, then he brings it right back. But I feel like he's at a time in his life now to where he's getting over it, but he's not bringing it back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
also get sometimes where he comes from because it hurts. I'm not gonna lie and say that it doesn't, but I think it's just a point to where you get in life and it's just like you just don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with the hurt. You don't want to deal with everything that it comes with.
The disappointment.
Yes. So I think it's just better to try to just get over it. But but it also hurts still. So
I totally understand that. I do remember a lot of, I feel like when I started creating the beast within all three of y'all is when disappointment would happen, or when you guys thought that something was going to happen, then all of a sudden it didn't and you were disappointed. And then I had three small kids there crying. And then this is when we developed Family Fridays. Y'all remember that? We would go out to eat every Friday. We
Right.
would go to like Dave and Buster, whatever the case may be. And we did that every single week just to make sure that you guys were in good spirits. Just because if the weekend didn't produce what you thought it was going to, we had fun on Fridays.
Right.
And then once we started doing Family Friday, we did that for forever. And actually, Family Friday turned into Family Dinner Sundays.
Yeah.
From what we did in order to kind of cope, in order for me to make you guys happy and try to do what we need to do. We also had family outings, and I bought this, I bought that, and there was phones, and there was shoes, and all types of things that we did.
Right.
So there was never like my wants were on hold, but y'all was never. But and even if it wasn't long. It wasn't like a 30-day waiting period.
Yeah.
I didn't leave you on hold for long. It was like let me get paid and let me do what I need to do.
Right.
That light bill gonna be due, and let me do an extension. I'm gonna go ahead and get what my kids want, because I'm gonna make them happy, because I don't need them crying. I don't need them to be disappointed.
Right.
I don't need them to feel like, hey, they're not worth a pickup or a phone call or anything like that. So I feel like this is when the beasts within the three were created. Would y'all agree? Would y'all disagree?
I'd agree. I'd agree. I'd agree for sure. I mean, it just is. It's crazy just growing up and just seeing it all. Like I said before, I applaud you, because it's really like, that's not easy. It's very hard to be selfless, but obviously they're your kids and it's a different story. But I mean, I can only imagine, because I don't got no kids, but I can only imagine not doing something that I want to do for somebody else. But it's just that's tough.
We came from it.
Yeah,
I
for
remember.
sure. It was always, because I remember my mom always saying, hey, listen, it is so important to support your children in all the things that they do. And I remember at one stage in my life where I didn't go to games or anything, because I was always working two jobs to make sure that we had everything, or y'all had everything that you need. And I remember like Kaylin was in basketball or either volleyball, and I feel like track, and I was missing her games because I'm trying to work, and I'm working two jobs, and I'm working during the day, then I'm working at night, and then I want to go to school, and I want to do all these things. And so I didn't get an opportunity to do that. But I remember feeling horrible that my mom was like, you need to support your child. And I'm like, Kaylin knows that I support her. She's like, no, you need to be there. And so once that resonated and really sunk into my head, I'm like, well, if that's the case, God, you're going to have to provide and make a way, because one of these jobs got to go, and I need to go support my kids. I remember like going and watching her play, and I remember the difference between not going and then going, even at home. You know what I mean? I remember watching Chris, and even playing football, and him and his coaches are getting into it. Chris is on special teams, and we would drive all the way to Paris just to watch him run down the field and then get off again. And then I remember you playing basketball, and I know that every time, even before the game started, he would turn around just like this and look behind. And I knew he was looking for me. And I knew that when I saw him, we would either do this or this, just to know, hey, listen, I got you.
Right.
I'm here. You see me, I see you. Let's go ahead and do what we need to do. And then even after years of all of that, you played basketball in Kansas. We made trips just to come and see you play. Right? And even if I was disappointed in what you did that day, we still took that 8-hour trip to come and watch you and spent the day with you, and made sure we even made a little ritual in Ottawa. We went to this certain restaurant every time we would go, and then that's exactly where we would depart every single time, and then until the next time we would come and see you. So some of those things were really, really, they were really like struggles for me, because number one, sometimes you didn't have gas. Number two, sometimes you really didn't have the money to go, but you wanted me there and I didn't want to disappoint and I wanted to see you and we wanted to come and make sure that you knew that we supported you no matter how many miles away. Even with Caitlin, and these boys, we'll do whatever we need to do. And even with Chris. So to me, it is so important to support your children no matter what. Because when you support your kids know that you're there, then it's a totally different playing field. It's a totally
Mm-hmm.
different mindset because they know that you're there. There's so many parents that I know that don't support their kids, and it's a whole issue. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I feel like I'm in church and I'm speaking. Come on, I need the
I'm
congregation
listening.
to say
I mean,
something
we
to
are
me.
listening.
Everything is. I agree. That's exactly how it was, how it played out for sure. Cause that 8 hour drive ain't.
Ain't no joke.
It's not.
Shoot, we would go to Bartlesville. We went to Bartlesville one night and turned around and came home, Oklahoma,
Oh, yes.
and turned around and came
Yes.
home that same night.
Yeah.
That was long, and then we had to go to work and do all the things. So it was one of those type situations to where you know you knew that we loved you, and you knew that we supported you, and so that's exactly what we did. You know what I mean? So, Caitlin, what about you? How does that play out? How does um as far as like your children, like Mateo and different things like that? What do you?
Mateo's 3. He started T-ball this year. He loved T-ball. We were at every game cheering him on. We tried football. Football was a epic fail. He hot. I'm hot. He don't want to play. So we ended up not playing football anymore. But he loves T-ball, so we're gonna do T-ball this year again.
Soccer too.
Soccer. I think he wants to do karate as well. So we're getting started.
Good.
We're getting started in the process of playing all the sports and being able to travel.
Kim, the way you grew up without a father, I mean, I'm not gonna say without a father, but without a father. Um, what do you think about children in the future?
Like having children. Like
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I feel like they need to, like, the way I grew up. Just having a figure is definitely like something that everybody needs. Like Papa was a figure,
Yeah.
Uncle Bo was a figure, Uncle Joe, all those people. So it's just like just definitely being there. Like I don't think anything less than that. Just being there.
Gotcha.
That's literally the most you could do is just be there, be present in the moment, and just because life is short. You just never know. So just being there really is what matters
Gotcha.
to me the most for sure.
So, question, because I know we've had this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
With things being the way that they are, and with me being like a single mom and really not paying attention to myself, my needs, or anything like that, we've all been through this emotional cycle of either we are emotionally constipated or we have emotional diarrhea, which means our feelings are all over the place, or we just hold our emotions and our feelings in. Who are you, Cam? I mean, seriously, who are you? Because you're like the quietest one. No one really knows how you're feeling about anything unless you're upset. And even if you're upset, we still don't even know that you're upset
Mm-hmm.
unless your nose kind of spreads. And that's it. But you don't show emotion. Why? I mean, seriously, why is that? Do you think it's because of you're a product of a single parent home or what?
Nah, I don't think so. I just really like a lot of things. Like I said before, life is too short. Like I can't, I don't want to go to sleep mad. I don't want to, go anywhere mad. So it's just really a lot of things really aren't that serious to me. Not saying that, not serious, but like getting angry over something so small. It's just I feel like it's pointless.
Right.
And if I do get over it, then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, that's not even why am I tripping about?
Hi.
It's not even, I need, obviously, sometimes I need a little time, like 5-10 minutes,
Yeah. You are
before I make
definitely
an
truly
emotional
my
decision.
son. That is so crazy.
But other
Let
than
somebody
that,
make me mad. My first thing is, hey, give me 5-10 minutes. I just need to cool off and just rethink my whole thinking process because then I'm mad or I need to get over this. Let me think about it. Let me process it, and then in about 5-10 minutes, I'm good to go. I don't hold grudges. I can't. My body isn't built that way. This is why I feel like I allow people to do me dirty more than once because I don't hold grudges. But then that third time, I'm like, listen, know how to feed your sis or brother. Let me give you this long handled spoon. So then at that point, I feel like I'm good. You definitely my kid.
Yeah.
Kaylin, what about you? You're my child, but baby, I think we're totally different when it comes to this.
Hey. First, sometimes I do have emotional constipation. Sometimes I do have emotional diarrhea. It just depends on the situation and I guess how passionate I am about the situation.
Gotcha.
Now, as far as holding grudges or getting upset,
you can hold one.
I'm gonna hold a grudge.
Yes,
I'm gonna hold a grudge for a long time. Getting upset, I'm going to get upset.
True.
Now, how long I'm going to be upset depends on the situation.
Or the person.
I think everybody knows me. I'm the mean one in the family.
I don't think you're mean.
I don't know. Sometimes I can be mean.
I think sometimes you're passionate about things that you're passionate about, but I think that emotions sometimes are friend or foe.
Yes.
Because I feel like sometimes our emotions will take us to a place where we don't need to go, or our thinking process is totally off because we're thinking something and it's actually not what it really, really is.
Right.
But because you thought it, then you think that it really is. And then people try to tell you, why are you so upset? It wasn't even like that. It's not even like that. And it's not like that. But in your mind, this is what you're seeing, and that's how you take it. And so that's why I say emotions can be friend or foe all the time.
For sure. Yeah, this is how, like, it depends on how passionate I am about it. On basically on where you get with me and how long I'm going to be upset about the situation.
Right.
Because when I get upset, I get upset.
Baby, when she get upset, you don't even know if you want to say, ooh, we, or Lord Jesus, take the wheel.
Just go pray.
Father God.
Just go pray for me.
That part, okay? Definitely needs to be praying. Definitely needs to be praying. Which is crazy because it's not crazy. I look at us and I look at Chris and myself. We're both March kids. You and Cam are both September kids. The attitude between you and Chris are so similar, and then Cam and I are semi-similar as well.
Mama.
Seriously, what are you thinking? Am I wrong?
I'm listening.
You got a little bit of a tude.
I'm not going to say I don't, but I can calm it down where you do not.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I probably could if I tried. Well,
I tried.
I don't know. To be honest, that's a hard thing to say because I can honestly say when I am upset, I'm upset. And there's no talking to me. Like when I'm upset, there's no Kaylin, just chill out. When I'm upset, it takes me a little bit to, even a couple of days sometimes, to just realize
that you were wrong,
that I'm wrong,
or you were right, but you shouldn't
act like
didn't
that.
have to act like that.
Yes, or I didn't have to, or my attitude didn't have to. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't have to go from 0 to 10.
I got you. Makes sense. What did you tell me one time about emotions? Did you tell me something about you don't? What did you tell me? We were talking about emotions and how people feel, and I think you said something along the lines of, I don't understand, or I don't take your emotions seriously, or it was something about, it was something about me, basically. You were like, I don't understand you, or something like that. And I'm like, I do understand you. I understand everything about you. I've been around you. I raised you. So I understand what makes you tick. I understand what makes him tick. And even though he may or may not say anything, I understand. I know when he's not happy or when he's mad. Everybody knows when Chris isn't in a good mood. So it's just one of those types of situations to where I know each and every last one of y'all. But yet and still, if I ask you a question and you tell me no, then I'm just going to leave it alone and let you say something to me about it. Because he is so passive aggressive to where it's ridiculous. and he'll text me like, ha ha ha, crying emoji face, and he's mad. You know what I mean? And I know this about him, and he's mad about it because as soon as he'll text it to me, I'll laugh, and I'm like, he's mad, you know? And then I'm like, why are you taking things so seriously? Just lighten up. It's okay. And then he's all hot about it, but he'll never say, yes, I am mad. And he's just like, I'm not mad. I'm like, yeah, but you are mad though.
Right.
So I feel like as a mom, I know my kids. And I feel like as my children, you know me. Number one, we had so much time to grow up with one another to where I had to realize who I was, who I wanted to be, who I didn't want to be. I also realized being a single mom and paying attention to my children and strictly focusing on you guys, that you don't like that because I watch every single thing to the point of I'm like, why is she doing that? Why is she being strange? Or why is he doing that? I paid attention to y'all so much at one point because in and out of a relationship to me, when I had y'all, it was like super important that I didn't bring anybody around because I didn't want you guys to think they're like, okay, hey Joe, how are you doing? Or hey, Paul, how are you doing? Or whatever like that, because I never wanted I didn't want you guys to see that because if I wasn't serious about Joe or Paul or whoever else, I didn't want that to be a thing in my house. I didn't want y'all to be, to see, hey, listen, here's this dude. And it could be strictly innocent and there may not be anything but going out to eat or just friends. But that was something that I didn't want to bring into my home. You know what I mean? Because I know that when you see different people coming in and out of somebody's house,
you think one thing.
That part. And it could be farthest from the truth, but these are thoughts that people have. And what if your child thinks the same thing? Well, we saw Steve yesterday, and then we saw Paul the other day. That's something that I never wanted to do. I never wanted to see. So if I did do something, I didn't like bring that all around. I remember one time I was talking to this guy, and Chris was like, Mama, we don't like him. That's exactly what he said. We don't like him. Do you know what happened to that guy?
Yeah, he was gone.
He was gone. Because my son said we don't like him. And he got pushed to the curb. He was gone. I listened to my children. Should I? Sometimes yes. Sometimes maybe not. But I listened to them. And if they didn't feel like they were important to that person, then that person was not important to me. And he stressed that. He was like, he doesn't care about us. He just cares about you. And I'm like, well, sir, you got to go. Because if my kids ain't feeling it, nor am I. We were done with that. And at that point, I'm like, nobody else. Nobody else. We're here done. And at that point, I started focusing on y'all because I'm like, by the time Cam graduates, I'll be 41.
Yeah.
Still young. We still going to be okay. And I can get married then. And I was sticking to that. But then I met Mark. And so that we broke the rule. I think we got married like
I was a senior.
You were a senior. He was in the 9th grade or something like that.
I think I was in 8th grade. No.
8th grade?
Yeah, I think I was graduating 8th grade.
Going to the 9th?
It was, y'all been together for a minute.
Yeah, we have. But just thinking about how we were all growing up in a house, all of us just kind of, it was just us for a long, long time. And then Mark came into a whole ready-made family.
Yeah.
And this one didn't make it easy for him. But honestly, he stuck it out. And he stayed right there.
Yeah.
He was and took care of all of us. And we did what we needed to do to bring the family together. But he came into a ready-made family. I mean, did he deserve all that? Probably not. I know he didn't.
Sorry, Mark.
But he...
I feel bad.
Kayla gave Mark hell.
So sorry.
I feel bad for him. Boy.
She did, but at the end of the day, and with all of that, his intentions were definitely genuine, and he cares about all of us, and we care about him too. So it was just like he stuck it out. So me personally, I was a single parent for a long, long time. I raised every last one of y'all. Cam was going to the 9th grade or what have you, but we went through a lot of things. We rocked it together. We cried together. We did a lot of things together, but at the end of the day, I feel like us now, we're okay. We're good.
We are.
I agree.
We're good.
I agree.
Me too. All right.
Chilling.
Yeah, we are. Lord Jesus, help us, Lord. Well, anyway, guys, that is the end of the episode. And if you enjoy our episode, please give us a thumbs up or a like, comment, and just subscribe. We thank you so much. And until the next one, peace.